course I said all right after. See what I mean? All right. Welcome to Cigars and Coffee with Joe. I'm your host, Joe. Today we're accompanied by Connected Fitness owner, Khari Dickey. How we doing, sis?
We're doing good. What about you?
Not too bad, not too bad. Before we get too deep in, we're smoking Garuka Heritage today. We're not going to actually smoke it in the gym because this is a place for health and fitness, so we're not going to do that. But this is a full-body stick, roughly around $9 to $12, depending on the location where you purchase it. I would do this with probably like a Brazilian roast. A lot of the fillers in this is from Honduras, so that would be great as well. A good pairing, if you will. Yeah, so as we get into this conversation, please feel free to say skip, pass, or anything you don't want to talk about or whatever. But I would like for you to tell our viewers and our listeners, who is Khari Dickey?
Hi, everybody out there. I am Khari Dickey, a.k.a. Coach Khari. I am the owner of Connected Fitness Strength and Conditioning Gym in Detroit, Michigan. I'm originally from Albion, Michigan. I have developed a passion for fitness since I was literally a knee-high. I played sports from, I would say, kindergarten all the way through high school, and I just really love to move. When I first went to college, I wanted to be a physical therapist, and that was my major. I was actually a pre-physical therapy major.
Right.
And I went to a thing called Festival. It was like when all the departments had a table.
Okay.
And that's when I actually learned what kinesiology was.
Oh, yeah, you lost me. I don't even know that word. Kinesiology.
So kinesiology is exercise and sports science, which that's actually what my bachelor's degree is in.
Okay.
I went to Wayne State for undergrad.
Okay.
I went to Western for my master's in exercise and sports medicine. But what I like to remind people is that life happens. And honestly, as an adult, I exercise kind of off and on, but as I worked different jobs and as life changed, my priorities started to change. In my 20s, I walked up some stairs and I felt chest pain.
Okay, so that scared you?
Scared me.
Okay.
And so that is when I really started taking the health and fitness approach more seriously, outside of just having the background, the education, and things of that nature.
Right.
I was working more so for a nonprofit. We did some physical activity, but as far as my personal health, I wasn't taking as much initiative to work out. So it really came from having that bit of a health challenge, and I really started to become more submersed in it and to actually explore lifting, learning how to properly exercise, and I shifted in the other side of the field. So
it's not more of a thing to make a quick buck. It's actually a passion.
It's actually a passion.
It's a lifestyle for you.
It's a lifestyle.
It is your life. It is, you are engulfed in it. It is engulfed in you. Experiences at Wayne State, studying, fitness, and Western, you said, correct? Studying fitness. Is there any difference? Because they say Western is Western. So does that make it difficult for you to focus on that fitness, understanding that there's parties here and there and everywhere around?
To be honest, Wayne State was undergrad. I was a bit more social. I actually had a lot more opportunities to hang out, to be a part of different organizations. Be young. By the time that I made it to graduate school, I was older. That would have been my second time in college. I was in a serious relationship, so I wasn't more so there for the partying. I literally was there to go to school, and I also was a graduate teaching assistant, so that was pretty much the focus of that time for me.
Okay. So you got it out the system, party.
Yeah.
I didn't attend college. I did for about a year and a half, psych major, but quickly realized that college is not for me. But I was at every college. I did a tour. 1 week I'm at Eastern, next week I'm at Central, next week I'm at Western, every weekend I'm at Wayne State because it's down the street. I'm up at OU trying to figure out what's going on that campus, and just so on and so forth. But with physical health, do you think there's a pairing with that to mental health as well?
Oh, definitely. I always say there's a lot of things that get solved in the gym. It is a lot, to be able to see your body have physical changes, but also from the aspect of the physiological portion of it is that when you exercise, your brain releases endorphins, which we know endorphins are more of our happy hormone.
Right.
So that's a portion of it. But then also the fact of things being challenging. So within Connected Fitness, we have a functional fitness program, but it's progressive training. So say, for instance, in the beginning of the program, like you can't do a push-up.
Right.
It's, maybe discouraging to see someone else in the gym or
Bust
your coach.
20 out. Right.
Yep.
Right.
And I can't do one. But starting with a wall push-up, gaining the strength, and then being able to do a push-up, towards the end, doing a plank push-up, it shows that if I am consistent, if I persevere, and I know the difference between a little bit of pain, not pain, but discomfort, and being able to push through that, then if something in my life is uncomfortable or what have you, I have a bit more of that confidence in being equipped to be able to do that. So I would say that it definitely has an aspect or an impact on your mental health for quite a few different reasons.
For sure. I was speaking to somebody about it, and the way they broke it down is health in general is not just physical, is financial, is mental, is spiritual, is like your complete being is related directly to health in everything that you do. Like there's a balance you have to find.
Definitely.
What made you want to get a physical space versus doing virtual? Because I know during the pandemic is when you kind of transitioned into getting a physical space. Was it more so just time to grab life by the horns and ride the bull, or is it just kind of steered this way, or is it just as the plan continues to progress, this is where your next step is?
Yes. So at the beginning of Connected Fitness actually started as a mobile training company.
Okay.
So we trained outdoors.
Right.
I would travel to people's homes. And I
Getting
like to
it out
joke.
the mud.
Get it out the mud.
Getting it
And
out
I
the mud.
literally like to joke, my gym used to be in the trunk of my car. And then I transitioned into a shared space when things became a bit more stable, where gyms reopened and people were able to be in closed spaces together. And my program started to grow via word of mouth, via social media, and via just starting to build more rapport as far as being a strength and conditioning coach. It got to a point where being in a shared space, a lot of times my groups and the number of clients that I had, it was a bit difficult to be in a shared space, as well as just needing a certain amount of or different types of equipment and wanting the space to also match the program. So it came to a portion of the journey where a gym was just the next step. So when I started Connected Fitness, I didn't off the bat say, I'm just going to open a gym. It just aligned in that time. And as we go into year 3, it's still been evolving. I've been learning how to be a gym owner because there is a difference between I was an independent coach or an independent trainer, but now I'm an independent coach and trainer and a gym owner. So it's been a learning curve.
Navigating those terrains. Transition to a little more personal, not necessarily deep personal, but a little more personal. Do you X people out that are not interested in making sure that they are physically fit? Some people do that. You have some people. So like I drink, I smoke cigars, I drink coffee, hence the name Cigars and Coffee. Anybody that kind of doesn't like my cigar smoking is like, what? Out you go. Out you go. So, and I know you have we share, a mutual friend group, and I don't want you to I'm not trying to be messy or nothing like that, but better question. In your love life, whenever you whatever you have going on, would it be a must for your partner to be physically fit or work out as much as you work out?
I would say that it would be helpful if they already are in the realm where they want to be physically fit or they work out. That is one thing that we could align on and that we would more than likely have in common. But considering, like I told you my story, I wasn't always as health conscious and fitness conscious as I am now. If that person is open-minded as far as they may want to pursue their fitness journey. Okay. And, you know, possibly connecting and starting a relationship with me, they may decide, like, okay, I think I want to take this a bit more serious. But I would say that my partner has to be a person that wants to be active and be physically fit to some extent. But they don't have to be that when they meet me. Right.
As long as they're not just sitting at the crib eating chili cheese. I'm fucking with you. So, in this space, you don't see, or do you see many black-owned gyms, black woman-owned gyms?
I would say that there are a few black women-owned gyms, and you know, I commend us all because I think that my mindset, and I will say not that I think, but my mindset is that we want more spaces where people that look like us are the ones that are the leaders. They are the ones opening the doors. They are the ones that have structured that program. So I commend us all. Setting trends. But there's also so many people that need us as a resource that we need these gyms. We need these spaces. So the few of us that there are, you know, I just want to say, like, all of us to keep going and keep encouraging people to actually connect with us and allow us to assist you in improving your lifestyle.
Is networking difficult, being a young, black, beautiful woman in the space, which mainstream media doesn't necessarily shine the light on our culture and the way that we do things. Networking in those spaces, do you find difficulties in that?
I would say that, yes, I see some positives, but I also see some difficulties as well. From the aspect of, say, for instance, as a fitness professional, I guess I can start there. Right. When you are engaging people, I would say, in our area, there are other areas of the country where fitness is just more, I wouldn't just say lucrative as far as revenue, but people place a higher value on it. Right. It is not necessarily a luxury, it's a need. It's a must. Yes, it's a must because people are saying, hey, I want to invest in my health. I also am more than likely focused on how I look aesthetically and all of that stuff. So in fitness, in our area, like, we are more so trying to also educate and convince people that this is not just a
just to get ready for the summer. This is
not just an extraneous thing. This is something that you actually need that is an increase of quality of life for you. So that's number one. And then I would say number two, it depends as far as networking. Okay. I have encountered people that may want to work together, but maybe not know how to communicate that. And there's also the aspect that there are different levels of experience. There's different levels of education and things of that nature. Because fitness is such a wide field, there are a lot of different avenues that can bring you to want to be in our field. So I myself, how I explained, I have the educational background, but I also have a lot of the personal experience. So that places me there. But then outside of that, because I don't necessarily just focus on weight loss or focus on aesthetic purposes, I tap into the technical, the education, and all of that good stuff because it's just a portion of who I am as a coach. And I think that sometimes within that, we get separated. And there can be a lot of competitive nature and just different other things that I've encountered that I know on a personal level, I am a person, I love community, I love to work with people. I see family. Family. I see value in everybody's scope. There is someone who, you know, for instance, is like, this may be my way of doing it, but there's another person that knows how to possibly attract people in a different way. Why can't we exist in the same space?
Right. It's enough room for everybody.
It's enough room for everybody. And going back to my point about clientele and people not seeing us as a luxury, there's plenty of people that need, training. They need to focus on their health, and they may connect with you as a person. They may connect with you as your training style. And I think that it just really shouldn't be more complex than that to me.
Leaving it where it matters, basically.
Yes, where it matters.
Okay. Going back to something you said in the beginning, you played sports.
Yes.
What sports were you into?
I played basketball.
Okay, check.
I did cross country.
Check.
I did track.
Track.
Yeah.
Check. Did you do volleyball?
I did not.
Most of the football guys, I can attest. Sorry, guys. Most of the football guys and basketball guys definitely was at every volleyball game after practice because they used to have the little shorts and we'd be in their front row looking, being little pervs. Sorry. I did track, I did football, basketball just to do it because it was something, but I'm not a basketball guy. How important is it after your playing career has ended or your, sports career has ended to readdress injuries that may have occurred that weren't properly taken care of throughout, your younger years? And kind of complex question. And do you believe if it goes unaddressed over time, it'll affect your overall mobility at a later date?
Yeah. It is very important to address previous injuries. And depending on the type of training style or the type of training that you are participating in, it can actually assist you in increasing your mobility, reducing your pain, improving your movement, increasing your strength and endurance from where you are, and then also getting you back to a level of athleticism that you were at previously. So one thing that happens, and I've talked to quite a few athletes, especially those who have played high school, who have played collegiate, there's a shift in mindset where you go from having to go to practice, competition, and things like that. You have to do it. And then at the moment where you become an adult and you don't have to do it anymore,
it stops. That's me. I try to get back, and I want you to continue, but I try to get back into it. I'll find myself going to the gym for a week, and part of it too is, I miss playing. So I get a bit depressed at times because it's like, man, I miss, I did all this work, now I get to put my pads on and go knock somebody's shit off. But it's like I don't have to. I'll commit, and then life will start lifing, and then it's like, I'll do it at a later day. I'll go back. I'll do it, and then you don't end up doing the shit at all. You're like, I've been paying for a gym membership, and I don't.
Yeah.
So I understand that part. I understand that.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll get back into it, but.
And you will, bro.
I will.
We're gonna work on that.
I will. Eventually, for sure. I definitely will know. You were here.
Yeah, we right here.
I'll get back into it for sure. I'll be back. So one thing that I want to add to the show that I always wanted to do because we're going to close up. Before we do, what are 3 things that you can offer to someone that looks like you or that is interested in approaching the field of fitness and doesn't know where to start, doesn't know where to enter, basically, start? What are three things that you are comfortable offering as far as advice?
This is a really great question. I have quite a few pieces of advice, but I would say that my first piece of advice would be to make sure that when you enter the field of fitness, that is something that you truly feel passionate about, and that you are firstly focusing on enriching the health of your clients, your family, and providing that positive example, and allowing the idea of doing it for revenue to be second. Because as you build, it's going to take some time to have it be to where that is your first thing. So it has to start with passion, because you're going to need to learn, which is going to be my second thing, is to educate yourself first. You may not be a person, there's going to be different levels or different avenues of education. You may not have been blessed to be able to start your journey as myself, where I was able to get my bachelor's in kinesiology. I was able to go on and get my master's because I kind of had an idea, and I knew at that time that's what I wanted to do. You may be able to go the certification route, but it's also knowing what type of certification you would like to get. And because I am more of a functional fitness athletic performance coach, I usually point people to more of those type of certifications. I'm actually getting my third certification right now, which is to be a certified functional strength and conditioning coach. Mm-hmm. And that would be my second, would be education. And then thirdly is just to not give up, to continue to look at it as an art and look at it as something that you're going to constantly have to engineer. And specifically, if you choose to do it as a career and not a hobby, you're going to have to continue to grow in the field. If it is continuing to focus on that education, or continuing to work on your branding and your marketing and how it ties to you personally, there's always going to be something to learn. So those are my three things.
3 things for me. You set your mind to it, you must complete it.
Mm-hmm.
Focus on the end and not the beginning. I was about to say something crazy. Focus on the end and not the beginning, meaning, let me develop that a little bit because some people might not understand it. You set the point that you want to be to, and you allow the step. You work backwards. I want to end here. How do I get here? And you work backwards from there. Okay, I go here, boom, 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 and then they'll bring you to where you are. And then thirdly, keep faith, God, family, and those that support you super close, super close, and move as a unit. 2 is always greater than 1, but 1 can get the job done as well. And remember, smoke, very good smoke here. Gurkha Heritage. I said Gurkha earlier, I'm sorry. Gurkha Heritage, full body. Bold, nice bold, dark coffee would be ideally paired. Don't tell her we're smoking. Just joking. Yeah, so Cigars and Coffee with Joe. Our lovely guest today is Coach Khari Dickey. And we'll see you next episode.
We did it, Joe.